very important. So I'm going to go to my handy dandy whiteboard, and I'm going to give you a problem we just did. F of x is equal to 10x to the 5th power. Now, do we have multiplication in the middle here? Yes, Hubert. You could also do this by the power rule, but I want you to do it by the product rule. First times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative first. Then I want you, after you get that answer, I want you to do it by the power rule and see if you get the same answer. Should you? Yes. So first, f prime of x is equal to first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. And that's the way I write it. And then I do it. 10 times 5x to the 4th plus x to the 5th times what? And that second term goes out, and you're left with 50x to the what? Now, what's 5 times 10? And what's 5 minus 1? So by the power rule, you can check to see if the product rule gives you the same answer. Now, do I do this because I want you to do extra work? No. I do it both ways so you can get practice with both ways. Something that you might want to try doing when you're doing your homework on notebook paper. Now, I've got like 5 minutes. I want to go over the quotient rule real quick. The quotient rule, and I'm not going to even attempt to show you what they've got in the book, unless you just like whips and chains. The quotient rule says the denominator times the numerator prime minus the numerator times the denominator prime over denominator squared. I don't know what example they got in the book. If anybody's got an example, is there an example? Find the quotient rule. Where's the quotient rule? Good gracious alive, that's too much. Let's just make up one. F of x is equal to x minus 3 over x squared. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is write everything out. X squared minus x minus 3 prime minus x minus 3 times x squared prime over x squared raised to the second power. And I don't care too much about the denominator because are you doing any calculus with the denominator? No. All you're doing is squaring it. So I really don't care about that. If you can't square x squared, then we've got a problem. All right? So I'm not really worried about that. Now here, x squared minus what is the derivative of x minus 3? Well, the derivative of a constant is what? 0. And what's the derivative of 1x? 1. So that becomes x minus what? X squared minus 1.
Is that not multiplication right there?
Where?
Instead of the minus? You have x squared minus, I mean, x squared
Denominator times numerator, not denominator minus.
Okay.
x squared.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I just now saw that. Thank you. So that would be x times 1. Thank you. Okay. Minus, I don't know why I did that. All right. Minus, I'm going to put that in brackets. Minus, all right, x minus 3 times what? 2x, Hubert, over x to the 4th. Okay, what's x squared times 1? X squared, Hubert. Thank you for the interaction. Minus, and if you distribute that minus 2x, that's going to be minus 2x squared plus what? 6x over x to the 4th. And what's 1x squared minus 2x squared? And I'm going to take out an x. And that's going to be negative x plus 6 over x to the 4th. And I get negative x plus 6 over x to the 3rd. Check in the book and see what they got. What'd they get? Huh? Oh, I did? Okay, forget it. That's the answer. Now, how else could you check this? Well, could you bring this up and go f of x is equal to x to the negative 2 times x minus 3? What would you do then? Product rule. Do the product rule. You start to see what I'm telling you. With each one, you can do what? 2 or 3 different variations of the derivative laws. Is that something that you should do? Yes. So I would, if I had time, I would do that one and do it by the product rule. Question. Okay, when I get through today, I'll go over to my other classroom and I will upload some derivative laws on 3.what? 3.2 and 3.1, right? Okay. I don't know how I'm going to do the Unit 1 test. I might divide it up into, I might just do the quotient, the limits. That's what I'll do. The Unit 1 test will be over the homework that you have now. The homework that you have now, I'll write on the board. Well, will be limits all the way up to derivatives with the difference quotient. I think there are 4 homeworks or 2 homeworks or something like that, 2 or 3 homeworks. And then your Unit 2 test will start with Chapter 3. Okay? Don't worry about that practice. As soon as we find out something from the Almighties at WebAssign,